Hello followers, you're watching Shasta's Journey, and I'm your host Shasta Garcia, and the show is all about my path to purpose, and along the way I get to meet so many incredible people with stories that could teach, heal, or inspire one of you guys. And today on the show I have an amazing woman named Kim Paulden, who is a business owner of the Vintage Heart, which is actually a business in Angels Camp, and I cannot wait for you guys to hear her story of her journey of life and about her faith, and she's just really incredible, and I just can't wait for you to hear it. So, Kim,
yes.
How did the Vintage Heart start?
Well, it would be 2 years in December since I started, and I had some debilitating diagnoses in my health, and I just was pretty much left handicapped at home, and I was told that I wouldn't be able to work ever again. And I was just devastated. You know, I'm 32 now, and just to even know at the time that that would be, you know, maybe play itself out was just horrible for me. So I found out about a store location for rent in downtown Angels Camp. And I went across the street and approached this gentleman and asked him if I could put my stuff in his store. And he immediately told me, no, there's no store for rent. You know, this is not going to happen. And I was just kind of crushed. And my doctor had said, to back up a little bit, that if I did something for myself and I worked for myself, that I could work, but I could never work for anybody else ever again, given my disabilities. So I saw this guy with a storefront. After he shot me down, I walked outside the store, and I had just prayed so hard that something would come of this great. Well, when I came outside, I closed my eyes, my tear-filled eyes, and I just prayed to God if there was a purpose, you know, where he wanted me to go and what was going to come of, you know, my next steps. And when I opened my eyes, I was looking across the street, and there was an empty store location that said for rent. And I ran across the street. I don't even think I looked both ways. And I called the number, and my husband, Paul, at the time was just, no, honey, we are not doing this. No way. You know, we're not going to do this. So I called the number and begged the lady to come and meet me, and she had said there was already 11 other people in line. So to get to the point, she met with me. I got the building. She loved me and said that I reminded her of her younger passions when she started her business. And she gave me the store, and I literally started the store on $45. So having 4 kids, you know, tight budgeted, and I got the store, and the dilemma I was faced with was when I got home was my husband questioning me, saying, what is going to be your plan? What are you going to do with yourself? And we don't have money to fill the shelves. I mean, what are you going to do? You got the store, I mean, are you just going to sell soap? I mean, what is your plan? And I said, well, you know, people in town call me that I'm like a Martha Stewart, so maybe I can come up with something amazing to do.
Of course,
you know,
which you did.
I'll pray about it. So I put an ad on Frogville, all the bills, and on Facebook, and I said, anybody that wants to be in my store and be a part of this journey of mine, I really don't know what I'm doing, but I want to fill the shelves, and, you know, message me. And I filled that store. Within probably, I got in December, and within the first few weeks, I had stuff on the shelves, and we were, you know, painting. My mother-in-law bought me paint for the whole store, and, you know, everything fell into place. Everything I prayed that I needed, God provided for me, and it just, the doors opened. And believe it or not, and we were pretty much ready to go in January, but we opened our doors in February, and our grand opening was in March, and it was crazy. The community just went nuts, and I only had a couple of little shelves in the store that were of my things I made, and at the time it was only goat's milk soap. And I was so determined when I looked in the store, I want to fill the store with all my wildest dreams, everything that I could ever imagine that's close to my heart. And before you knew it, in a very short amount of time, I set a goal. I was like 6 months. These store shelves are going to be completely full of everything I make, and I will find a way. And my husband said, we can't do this. You're crazy. And I said, just watch me, and I'll find a way. And I don't know how I did it, but I had, in 6 months, filled all the shelves. Within a year, 90+% of the store is everything of my own that is handmade. And the other few percentages is, you know, either local vendors or stuff that we order in.
I think it's so amazing, like, just hearing your story, like, again, because, like, I've seriously, like, followed you along this, like,
Yeah.
like, little journey of yours, and it's just really incredible. Like, every time I go in there, like, there's something new, and there's a reason behind every product you make, and that's what I think is so inspirational about you, is that, you know, you see a problem, or you see something, and you want to go ahead and make a difference, and that's really important as far as our path to purpose. That's kind of how I wanted to ask you, you know, how do you feel that you're living out your purpose here on Earth?
So, as a child, I won't get too far into it, but I always thought I was going to be a veterinarian when I grew up. And I went to school to be a veterinary technician. And, you know, getting this crazy, you know, health twist of, you know, raising my 4 children and, you know, not knowing what the future would hold for me and being so restricted on what I could do. You know, you choose, you know, when you're younger, you choose what you want to do with your life. And I thought I had my A game on. I thought I knew what I was doing. And then all of a sudden, God, you know, put on the brakes and just flipped me over sideways and just said, no, you're like, start over. You got to do this all over again. And I think just, you know, having to just slow down and take a breath and just be like, there has to be purpose. And I think my products, you know, my pain, it started all with my pain when I had my first stroke in last February. That was February before last, excuse me. Just being on pain medicine and being pretty much a vegetable at home and having to have someone take care of me and not being capable of doing anything for myself. Once the pain meds, we assumed that was a cause of the stroke. Once I got off the pain meds, I was determined to quit all pain meds of any kind and change my lifestyle. And, you know, here I made soap and I had vendors in the store of, you know, kids' toys and different things. And I thought, you know, I don't believe in this mumbo jumbo of holistic stuff. You know, I don't believe in that whole placebo deal. Like, you know, I believe you go to the doctor and you get fixed. And so I thought, you know, I don't know anything about this, but I'm going to look into it. So I, you know, read books and looked online and looked up, you know, different, you know, time-tested methods of skincare and bath and body and essential oils. And before I knew it, I was making all of this stuff myself and using it on myself. So I have arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and I made lotions, the pain management cream.
And this is actually just recent that you made.
Yes,
I mean,
just
you've made other things.
It's pretty recent on that one.
And so, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's a cute little jar. I absolutely love it. And they have little labels. But this one is the magnesium pain cream.
Yes.
And you actually have a story behind just kind of like why you ended up putting it on your shelves.
Yeah, so I pretty much had made I was trying to come up with something for myself, but I had a customer come in. And she had said that she had some serious pain in her hands from being a guitar player. And actually the same day I had someone that had been in a car accident that her neck was hurting her. And I had this magnesium oil on the shelf and I knew what it was good for, but I was making a lotion. And I figured, you know, the customer asked, can you make something for me? I'm going to be in town. And I made it for her and for both of them, and they tried it right in the store, and they were blown away. Their pain was taken away instantly, and I thought there is no way on earth it works that fast. Even though I knew what the outcome would be, I really think, in my heart, I believed it, but I think really seeing it before your eyes actually working, and something so simple. I mean, the simplest ingredients. I mean, like coconut oil and shea butter and beeswax, and it just, to me, it's just crazy in essential oils how something can work so fast. So I started using it myself, and I had really bad arthritis in my hands, and my hips, I can't sleep, could not sleep a whole night. And I started putting it on my hands. I only have to use it once a week, and my hands don't hurt anymore. I mean, I can use my hands, they're not cramping up, I can drive. It's changed everything for me. And, you know, out of all the products I make, these are probably my most popular. And they've changed my life. So the purpose, you know, how I think I'm leading out the store is I think my skincare living through me is helping other people, and, you know, to have a customer come in and say, can you make something for me?
I always ask you that.
I want this smell. I don't want this other smell. Can you make, I don't like, you know, lotion in this. I had a lady come yesterday, can you make vanilla lotion? And I kind of looked at her and I said, well, I already have lotion on the shelves. And she's like, please. So I just whipped something up for her, and she was just hysterically happy. And, you know, I think that just being able to use my hands and make something that's going to potentially change someone's life. You know, I don't have any crazy wild claims. I just tell people to try the testers and see. I know even when I first met you and you came in and you were like, well, can I use a tester? And you tried the, you know, facial toner and you were like, oh my God, I love it. And the lotions and, you know, sugar scrubs. And
I was going to ask you, I was like, do you remember like the first time that we met?
I think you came in and approached me about your TV show. And I think I just openly felt really comfortable around you, and that I could just tell you my story. And I think I might have overstepped myself a little bit when I just was like, bleh,
No,
just all of a sudden
all.
on you.
And we actually have a lot in common. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like we're almost like sisters. It's really crazy.
That's why we talk so long forever. But like when you're talking about how like people always like think, because I use essential oils, like I never go to the doctor or anything, and like when you're talking about like
go to the doctor,
and everybody thinks like I keep like a little first like aid kit, like my like essential oil emergency kit, and everybody's like, oh, those are drugs, like no, because it's not like I keep like a bottle of like medicine, like you know, I keep my essential oils, like they are my babies. Like I don't know what I would do without them. But
I remember you telling me
you know, endometriosis was the reason why I started using essential oils, and I mean, they really can, you know, make a difference in people's lives.
It does. That was me. I had horrific endometriosis. My organs are all glued together.
I don't even want to know what mine are like.
Yeah, it was really bad, and I didn't know I had it until probably my second child, in, you know, ages 5 to almost 14, and so I had really horrific pregnancies. They were just really bad, and we were just determined to have a big family. And so the endometriosis just was horrible. But the essential oils, it is crazy. I mean, I suffer from migraines. You can literally open a bottle of lavender and put a drop or peppermint under your nose, and it almost takes it away. And it is crazy because, I mean, I'm on, you know, was on injections to try to get rid of them, and nothing worked. So being able to, I've actually not been in the hospital, knock on wood. It's probably been at least 6 months. I know you're like, find wood. I think it's wood. So it's been amazing. So
yeah, without a doubt. I was going to ask you, like, you know, like, how would you describe your faith? And you've been talking about it throughout the show, but for those of you, you know, who don't know, just, you know, like, when did you find God?
That is a great question. Wow, good one to throw a curveball.
If there was a particular moment.
Yeah. I was raised in the church. My dad was did Sunday school, like a preacher type, and you know, I think every Sunday religiously being there, I never really knew God as a little girl because he was just something that existed in my life. And I think it took me getting baptized. I don't know how old I was, maybe 10, 11 years old. And I was adopted when I was young by my uncle, and I was probably 6 years old when everything was finalized, but went to live with him when I was 3. And I think just not really knowing, even though my parents were close, I wasn't that close to them. And I think that's what brought me close to God, was just needing someone to run to, and I didn't have a mom. My uncle, my father, was a single man, and I didn't, you know, have anybody to ask questions, and so I just talked to God a lot. And every time, you know, anything in my life impacted me, I prayed about it, and it's really crazy because there's a lot of non-believers out there that think, you know, you're crazy, and they'll badger you and, you know, shoot you down. I see a lot of that now that, you know, with everything going on in the world, that people just are scared to believe in something that they don't see, but you can see the miracles around you every day. I mean, my story every day is 100%, you know, faith-based. It is just crazy, but I think after being baptized and just, you know, accepting him, I think that's everybody's choice. Even if you're raised in the church, I think that you just make that decision when you're ready to accept him. And, you know, it's done nothing but great for me. And I can't say I haven't had some really crazy ups and downs where doors close.
Oh, I totally know, yeah. I mean,
one after another, and you just, you know, there's always a way. There's always another option. Maybe your door's closed now, but he'll always lead you to another path. And if he's closing the door on you, there's a reason. And there's, you know, always a purpose. You know. It
reminds me of my senior yearbook quote. Like, I got a message, oh, so what's your senior, you know, yearbook quote? And I was going through so much at that time, and I was like, you know what? So I was like, I can't think. So I started flipping through my songbook, and you know how I write the songs, and each one has like their own story and everything. Well, I came through these song lyrics that said, so what if life's messy? Perfect isn't the plan, purpose is.
Perfect.
And I was like, yes, I mean, life is messy, you know, I mean, life is not going to be perfect. We're not perfect, but
not at all.
But you know, we're here for a purpose, and that's all that matters. And it's great to see that you're living out your purpose, and it's awesome. And how do you see yourself, you know, maybe in the future, and where you want your store to go?
So that's funny that you asked that. I actually have been thinking about that recently. I watched that Shark Tank TV show, and I see these people say, "Where's your 5-year plan?" And I think, I'm just trying to make it till tomorrow, let alone be on time to anything. So, you know, I guess I just, my husband and I had a conversation recently about this, and we involve the kids too in this, and just asking them where we want to be with this whole thing. And I think, you know, I'm going to keep doing as long as I can what I love doing. And, you know, if it comes to an end, you know, I'll find another way to get it out there. I definitely enjoy it. And I think, you know, I don't, you know, funny, relating back to the Shark Tank, you know, you see these people that say you need to, you know, commercialize and go overseas and expand your products. And that is something that I stand true to not do. I don't want a product that's commercialized. It's not about the money. You know, it's great to be able to fund and support yourself, but that's always a plus. And I think people think I'm crazy and non-professional when I say that. But I think that it is so important to do something from your heart and impact people's lives in everything you do. And, you know, if I have a purpose on earth, you know, whatever it may be, even if it's something as small as, you know, making skincare for people and bringing smiles to their face, I think that's really like my purpose in life. You know, we're all here for a reason. And, you know, I think really my, you know, future plan is just trying to keep doing what I love, whether it's skincare or I change another path and, you know, do something else, whether I go back to being a stay-home mom, whatever it is, you know, as long as I can make people happy and, you know, keep living the dream.
Yeah, Shark Tank is hardcore sometimes. It's like, okay, well, it's all about the money.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
You know, everybody says, you know, like, oh, Shasta, you're going to be famous. I'm like, well, that's, I mean, that'd be great, but that's not my goal. I mean, my goal is to just impact as many people as possible. I mean, I think that should be my #1 priority. Like you, like, well, it's not about the money. I mean, it'd be nice to have money, you know, to support myself. But, you know, if I don't get the money, then it's okay. Yeah. So have you took any bumps along your journey of life so far and kind of turned it into something good? Or maybe not you turned it into something good, but just as far as your faith, like, did you take anything that, you know, was a bump in the road and you kind of was like, here's the bad, but here's the good?
That is a great question. There are so many bumps in my road. I don't even know. I'm waiting for the road crew to come in.
I wish we could say, like, we're on a roller coaster that only went up.
I know. Yeah. Wow. I'm not really sure if I could answer that in, like, a short statement. You know, I don't even know how I can answer that. I think bumps being, like, if I was to relate it just on something simple, more recent, you know, like my store, there's days that I think we think, oh, we're going to have to close the doors because things, you know, financially it's bad. We talked about, I know you and I talked about me moving my store to Copperopolis, and I know you're so sad. And even though I signed, I think we've been on the fence on whether we were going to move to Copper or stay, and it's really been funny. I prayed about it, and here's where the bump comes into play. So when I told you this story. So here over the last few months, I have been approached by some gentlemen out of Coppertown Square in Copperopolis to move my store to this beautiful brand new space. It was built to suit. And I was just tickled pink because I live in Copper now. I used to live behind the store, so my life was like so in line then, and then the minute I moved, everything went, you know, a little bonkers. But I had the option, and with my store, I couldn't remodel or expand or build like a kitchen like I wanted to in the back. I mean, we kind of have a makeshift thing going on that's fine, but we wanted to expand to be able to expand all our product lines. So when someone comes in, we never have to say, oh, we're out of that or we need to make more, because, you know, we don't order commercial, we make everything. So we only put a few on the shelf at a time. So to get to the point, I prayed about this decision, you know, that was weighing me down and really just making me sick. I just didn't know what I should do, if I should stay in Angels, if I left to Copper, would people like you follow me?
I was like, just pray about it, man. I can't tell you what to do.
So I prayed very hard, and my husband caught me quite a few times going, are you serious? You're praying about this right now? You're questioning, like, what, babe, just make up your mind. You can close the store. You don't even have to have either one open. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? So I just kept praying about it, and it's really funny. The day I was supposed to sign the final to get the keys, I've already signed, I'm already in contract with Copper, and I have my store, so I'm kind of like still 50-50. The morning of, went to go meet the lady to get the keys for the Copper location, and our projected time of opening the new store is in September. And the lady told me she couldn't meet with me until 1 o'clock, and I was there early in the morning before my other store opened. And so I thought, is this a sign? I just prayed about this the night before, like what would be would be. So I just have to go to work and just not think about this right now. And I'm the type of person that once something's in my head, it drives me nuts, and I just have to like take care of it. I can't just push it out. So I get to my store and I prayed about it, and I had this gut-wrenching feeling that my landlord for my store I'm in now was going to call me or come by. And I was really sick for some reason, just because I knew I needed to tell her that I needed to give her notice. And she walked through the door, and I just was speechless because I knew I didn't give her notice yet, and I didn't have the heart to tell her because she's Christian. And she just has the most amazing faith ever, and she has believed in me when, you know, others might not have, and she has just been amazing. She's like, you know, my grandma. She is just beautiful, amazing in every way. So she came in, and I start to tell her that I'm going to be leaving, and she hits me with this devastating news of some, you know, really horrible test results that she got. And I was just speechless, and I literally tried to hold back crying, and then it just all of a sudden fell out of my mouth. I think I'm moving to Copperopolis, and I'm so sorry, but I don't know what to do. And she just kind of stopped and looked at me, and she said, if whatever you need, let it be. If you want to change the store and make it how you want, do whatever you want. I don't want to lose you. You know, God brought you to me, and there's a reason why you're here. And, you know, I understand if you have to expand, but God sent you to me. And, you know, you were the answer. And so I just kind of, you know, was emotional for a second. And she's like, I love you, honey, and you're going to make the right decision no matter what you do. And so she walked out. And as I walked out, I was just speechless, thinking to myself, oh, my God, what do I do now?
And the answer was right there.
Yeah, right there. And I'm like, is this my answer? Are you serious? This is my answer. This is what you give me right now. This is my answer, but I'm moving. So now what? And, you know, I think it was, it might have even been you that I was like, what now? And
you were
I
telling
think
me.
you had come in and you had said, like, there is no, like, question. You're going to stay here and be amazing. And so I just was.
Now you can expand and make a kitchen.
I can expand the back half of my store and start construction. I don't know where I'm going to get funding for that, but we'll just figure it out. Everything else has worked itself out.
That's what I was about to say.
You know, we'll just cook on the floor. No, I'm just kidding.
You guys do what you gotta
Indians
do.
did it. No,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. You know, it'll be beautiful. So, yeah, pretty much I just, it was crazy, so.
And a few episodes down the road, I do want to go ahead and give my viewers a little update on Kim. So maybe we'll get a camera out to her store and see the update, and that would be beautiful.
Yeah,
and
that'd be great.
Maybe we can even have, like, a life journey day, like, in your store. And
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll just have you, like, we'll have a panel of you who can ask questions about all your products.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah,
that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll make it all. And so we actually have Euro Cream, which I use all the time, and if you don't use it, you break out. No, I'm just kidding.
I know, you're like, so make sure you use it because Kim's put some kind of magic in it to make you break out.
Like,
no?
your face will be mad at you if you don't use it.
I know.
I know mine does.
Isn't that the way it works? I try to come up with a catchy, like, explanation for that. You just have to use it.
There's no other
Not that you have to
option,
buy more,
okay?
but you just have to use it.
Yeah, so the Vintage Heart Euro Cream, so what are the benefits of people using this?
So it's an anti-aging cream. It is dark spot corrector, fine line toner, even complexion, pH balancer. It is amazing.
Be careful,
I
Shasta.
know. It doesn't explode
I was
on you.
gonna, you know, I already know what it smells like. Well, I can't really smell it
It's
at the moment,
lemongrass.
but it smells amazing though.
So in it, it is amazing. It's all 100% natural. Every single ingredient in it is natural. We don't use any chemicals, preservatives, stabilizers, nothing. Everything is 100% natural.
I mean, she literally has shampoos and conditioners and lotions and soaps and bath soaps and scrubs, and I'm already out of breath. So
Everything.
I'm like,
And if we don't have it, you can
bath
ask, and I probably would make it for you.
I don't think I've smelled this one.
Yeah.
Orange and eucalyptus. I don't take baths very often, so I don't.
I know. I'm always trying to
I
sell
even-
you on it. You're like, oh, I don't feel good. And I'm like, get the bath salts. I don't really take baths. And I'm like, ew.
Didn't I just buy it? No, I take showers, just not baths. Baths take so much longer. Like,
They do. Last night.
Yeah, and I don't
took a
have that
bath.
type of time.
I
Like,
was
gotta
in there
get
till
it
like
done.
1 in the morning, and I just was like, I just am going to escape the world.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think I just bought a bath soap too. A bath soap.
I
A
made
bath
you
soap.
bath salt. I think I made you peppermint, and by the way, there's more peppermint on the shelf. Yeah, I made more.
Hallelujah. Everybody loves your lip. Oh my God. Chopstick.
Lip balm. Lip balm. Yeah, do you guys love
Everybody loves your lip. Okay. No, but seriously.
Probably.
But yes, everybody loves. Yeah.
Your Twitter painted it's not great.
Yeah. What would you like to be known for as far as your legacy?
Oh, God.
I know.
I knew you were going to ask one of those questions.
I mean, I could have asked you, like, what's your life story in a nutshell?
Well, when I grow up.
No, I can still say
World
that, though.
Peace. No. I still feel like a child. Is that funny? I still feel like
everybody forgets that I'm young. Like,
well, what? When you came in, I thought you were like my age, and then when you told me, I'm all, holy, what? I was like, wait a minute, no. So legacy, I was trying to think about this because that's totally a question. Totally. I've been asked before, kind of in a different roundabout way. Legacy. And then I started thinking about life insurance, and I was like, totally went like the opposite direction. So, which I don't have right now. Okay. I think legacy, what do I want to leave behind? I think as long as when people think about me, they laugh. You know, in a good way. In a good way. In a good way. You know, that you get joy and remember me. And, you know, just, I think I want to leave behind something for my children. You know, the mom and pop shops are dead. There's just, you know, there aren't really anymore. The commercialization of the world has just taken over. And people will go to, you know, a big box store before they go to a mom and pop shop. And I think even though I was shot down with the Angels Camp area saying don't go in downtown Angels, it's completely dead. You know, you're going shot in the dark. I don't know what you're thinking. And I just thought it's not about the money, and it's about bringing a community together. You know, I love that saying, in a village, you know, it takes a village to raise a child. Well, it definitely takes a village to keep your act together because, you know, it takes everybody. So I think a legacy, if I can, you know, leave something behind, you know, I want people to think positive of me and know that, you know, I'm sharing my gifts, you know, with other people, and I just hope to make an impact on life, you know.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Was there a particular moment throughout your path to purpose where you just felt so assured that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be?
Probably when I had no other option. No. You know, after laying in bed for a year and being a veterinary technician, and all of a sudden having no work, not being able to barely walk, having to be, you know, in a wheelchair, and I think just knowing that this is not going to be my fate. I am not going to stay in this bed forever. I am not going to, you know, succumb to this. And the minute I started making Bath & Body, and I share my story with my customers, and even, you know, you've changed my life so much. I love you being a part of it. Just being able to share my story and having the customers come in that are really grouchy, and they come in and they're kind of like, you know, really upset, and
we all have those.
They've had a bad day, they're hot, you know, they're tired, there's no parking, whatever it will be, and they come in and I say hello, and I just, you know, I seem like I light up the room for them, and, you know, not that I'm trying to be too vain, but I try to be cheery, and, you know, they just, their whole attitude changes, and then, you know, they tell me their story, I tell them mine. They'll tell me, you know, oh, I need this for myself or that, and I've just had a way to impact their lives, and, you know, even just to have compassion. And I think just waking up and realizing that there's people that need what I do, you know, fill a need.
Without a doubt.
And I think that just being able to change people's lives with something so simple as skincare. You know, our prices are super low, and I have people all the time tell me, you need to raise your price. And I said, no, but then it's not affordable to people. And, you know, it's just, I think, knowing that I'm offering an amazing product, you know, and being able to change people's lives. It's, you know, all
well,
that
I want to thank you so much for being a part of my path to purpose and being on the show and sharing your story, because I feel like that is so important for people to share their story, and I really hope that Kim's story taught, healed, or inspired one of you guys. And I want you guys to go ahead and share your story at www.shastasjourney.com. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all that jazz at Shasta's Journey, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Bye-bye.